What's up, Wargamers? Welcome back to World of Wargaming. I'm Isaiah, and today we're going to be playing a game that I have been looking forward to playing on and off camera for quite some time. I've just recently gotten the starter box painted up. Today we're going to be playing some Armada from Mantic Games. This game uses the Black Seas Ruleset from Warlord Games, and I'm not exactly sure how true to those rules. I know it's pretty close, but I think there may be some small differences. But either way, this is a game of naval battles, but with fantasy ships. So this is set in the Kings of War universe. So today, the starter box that I have comes with Orcs and Basileans, which are the human faction for the game. So that's what you're going to be seeing. I'm going to be playing the Orcs today. Rob's going to be playing the humans. And I love boat games. B, I love fantasy settings. And C, the Orc boats have giant windmill fists on the front of them. There's nothing about this game that is to be not loved. So if you haven't hit the like button, the subscribe button, or the bell notification so you get notified when I post new content, consider doing those things for me because it really does help the channel out and help me grow. And let's go hit the high fantasy seas for this game of Armada. What's up, friends? So we're going to play some Armada today. Now, Armada is a game from Mantic Games, which I mentioned all this in the intro. Just one of their Mantic Games, but it uses the Black Seas Ruleset, or a variation of the Black Seas Ruleset from Warlord Games. I'm not super familiar with Black Seas, so I don't know exactly how accurate that particular transition is. But either way, we're going to be playing with the starter box today. I've got the Orcs painted up here. Rob's going to be playing the Basilean fleet, which is the human faction in the game. And our mission today is just going to be to murderate each other. Our deployment zones will be 12 inches in and then about 6 inches up. We've got 3 islands and some rocks forming this little archipelago that we're going to be fighting over. Now with the islands, medium and bigger ships have to stay 2 inches away from the islands. If you end up within 2 inches, then you'll have to take a skill test and potentially bad things will happen to you. They block line of sight, they block movement through them. Rocks block line of sight and movement through them. If you collide with a rock, you just hit it. There is 0 chance to evade that. And that's about it for setup. Now with Armada, we got a ship card. If you've played Cruel Seas or Victory at Sea or Black Seas or any of those games, this card is going to be very familiar. If you have not, then this is how it works. You've got your point cost for the ship, your movement, your nerve, your structure points, your health points, and your crew strength. Movement is obviously your movement. You move in increments of that. So if you're going at slow, you move 1 of that movement, combat speed 2 of that increment, battle speed 3 of that increment. Now the game uses tokens to designate your speed. However, while I do love tokens, I'm going to use the weight markers because I think this is more thematic, it's more immersive, and I think it's simpler than digging through the token box. But if you like the tokens, that's awesome. You game however you want to game. I'm just letting you know what I'm going to be doing. Now, one creature comfort of this game that I do really enjoy is that it comes with these little letters. So if you have more than one of the same boat, you can give it a letter token to designate which one is which. You know, one beside the boat, one on the ship's card. That's a quality of life thing that I really enjoy. We got our D10s, which each different kind of weapon has a different color dice, which we'll talk to when we get to some shooting. We've got an arc gauge for your front and your back arcs. We've got, this one does come with a angle gauge. Love that. And it comes with a ruler. Now, one thing about this ruler that Rob and I just realized is that this ruler does not measure from the very end. Like, it does not measure from the end of the gauge. It measures from right here, this line. So if you're using this gauge, just be aware of that when you make your movements. Rob and I played a game where we were not aware of that off camera a week or two ago, and it just seemed like his ships, the orc ships, were just getting to me and ramming me so fast. Well, no wonder they're getting like an extra, quarter inch, but they're getting an extra inch of movement total across, their whole movement. So just be aware of that. It's a really pretty gauge. I do love the way it's designed style wise, but just be aware of that one small practicality thing. And with that being said, we're going to get deployed. We're going to figure out which way the wind is coming from. And we're going to start shooting up some fantasy boats. All right, here we are all set up. Now, at the start of the game, our scenario does not dictate to us which direction the wind blows from. So we got to roll a dice for it. 3, it will be blowing from the west. Yes. So that will mean our initial wind is blowing in from the west. And we're going to get into it. I think that's going to be... So in this game... The initiative in the turn order is determined by where the wind is blowing from and what ship that wind hits first, which in this situation, I'm pretty sure is going to be Rob's gun brig. Yep. So that'll be first activation to Rob. Now, big difference between this game and Cruel Seas is that this game is measured in inches. So that's nice for us in America. I don't have anything against the metric system personally. I'm just not used to it. Gun brig moving up to right there. I think.
Should be my other.
Yeah, I think that's your Alohi before my little what is this thing called? Bomb boat. Before my bum boat.
I call it the Billy Bob.
That's fair. Thanks to Mike for sending us these sweet gauges that he found on Etsy. Appreciate you, brother. So we're gonna go just like in the other, in Cruel Seas, you can move and then pivot and then move. Now in this game, you can also shoot in between your movement segments, which is nice. And there's also something called fire as she bears, as well as crossing the T, raking fire, which we'll talk to when we get to it, because I don't want to overload anybody with new rules that they're not watching happen. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a visual learner. Then I'm going to make one more 45 pivot. I love having a widget for the turns.
Bonk.
It's so much just easier, just quality of life stuff that they include in games that I love. It is a good widget. It's heavy, it's got weight to it, that MDF.
Beat somebody with it, I'm good.
So we're gonna go, next will be me hitting my bomb boat, and I'm gonna carry on that way. Bump it up to full speed, or battle speed, and just gonna shoot this little strait right here between these islands, because the small and tiny boats can go within 2 inches of the islands. Their draft is shallow enough. That will be Rob's other Alohi or Alohi. If you know how to say that word, drop me a phonetic pronunciation in the comments. But the Alohi,
Give me that widget.
Alohi, chased for that heavy widget. He's all for it now.
Yeah. Wait, what am I doing? Yeah, I am doing it. Okay, cool. Stupid eyes.
Stupid eyes. Turning widget. You sure can, bro.
Thank you.
In this game, you just place the widget at the back and then execute your turn up to whatever color it is that you can turn.
Yeah, there we go. We'll just go this way. We'll make this an entire cluster. Why not?
I'm here for it.
I'll ram my own person. You don't know me.
You can't intentionally ram somebody. Only I can do that as Orcs.
Because I'll line myself.
Next up will be my first Hammer Fist, which has a movement of 5. He's a quick fellow. So we're going to go turn the widget around the right way. We're going to go 5. And then we're going to go 5 more. And then we're going to make just a little pivot to get something potentially in my range. Yep. Now, because I'm not a veteran crew on this ship, because we don't really have points. We didn't really tally points. We're just playing them out of the box. So when I shoot, because I'm not a veteran, I have to shoot at the closest target, which would be this boat. And the front arc on your gun is this token just out. Same on the back. Your rear or your side arcs, your broadsides, are just straight out from the base. So that strip like that. So now that I have declared my shot, I can measure to see if I have range on my shot. I have a large gun on the front of my boat, which has a 20-inch range, which is definitely going to ding him, but there are going to be some modifiers for range and speed and all that good stuff. Blue dice that I get to roll because it's a large weapon. The weapons are color-coded, so heavy weapon is blue, a light weapon is red, a close quarter is black, and an indirect weapon is green.
The best color.
So I got one heavy, so I get one blue. So my range is over 10 inches, so that's -1. So I go to a 7 because you started a 6 in this. And in this game, big difference between Cruel Seas, I don't know about Black Seas, is that you're looking to get over your target number as opposed to under your target number. So -1 for range goes to a 7. Nothing for my crew. Nobody's anchored or grounded. Are you at full speed?
I am in combat.
You're at combat speed, so no modifiers for speed. We're both medium, so no modifiers for that. And it is a clear shot, so nothing for visibility, indirect, snap, or evasive. So I'm looking for a 7-up. That is a 9, so that'll score a hit. That heavy weapon will deal 2 damage. All right, so my Blood Runner jumps up to full speed and ends his movement right here. Next, the wind will hit the sails on that Panther on the Basilean side, and he's going to do some stuff. We'll show you where his boat lands. So Rob doing some finagling and cutting himself across the wind this way to put himself closer into the wind for next turn. I'm going to activate this Hammer Fist, and it's going to jump up to full speed, and we're going to cruise on up the bay. Right there, which will end the first round of the game. We will go to round 2, and at the beginning of the round, we roll to see if the wind changes. Rob rolled us a 9, so the wind direction will stay blowing from the west, same as it did the first turn. Rob's little gun brig activating first. Ending his movement with the gun brig right there. Next activation in the wind will be me with this boat, which is going to drop down to combat speed or battle speed and move through that strait. Move through, I catch my first sight of the flanking gun brig, and I will unload on it with my front weapon, which is an indirect weapon. So bad things could happen. So going to an 8 right here because it's an indirect weapon. So indirects are the green dice. That is a 6, which will be a miss. Now with a so it was like this way. I did that wrong. So you're supposed to roll. It scatters if you miss, and the dice was pointing this way.
I'll say so.
That seems right. Yeah. So we'll say it was. So ideally, I should have rolled over here, and then I miss, and then the shot scatters that way and hits. Luckily, there's no ships over there, and it didn't roll back. Going to the Panther, who's going to stay at full speed and just keep it rolling. And right here, just kind of sailing in close today. I like it. Next will be this Elohi, which has no choice but to try to drive into the one next to it. Because it doesn't have oars or an engine, so it can't pivot before moving. So measure the full movement of what it would be.
So I choose speed first, right?
Choose speed first.
I'll go combat. I'll stay at combat. Why not?
Okay.
So it is.
It's battle in this game.
So it is 5.
Okay, so the full 5 would be.
My rear would end up right about here. So this will.
So that would be the collision. You would collide. All right. So what we do here is. And then potentially makes collision. So here is a skill test to try for the crews to try to evade. It currently has a +1, so you need 2 different colors.
Okay.
So the black one for this one, the gray one for that one.
What am I looking for?
+1, 4 better.
4 better? We're good.
So they both evade. So because he evaded, he would turn the smallest amount possible to get to clear the other ship by at least 1 millimeter, and then continue your activation. So then you would, I guess, continue there.
Sounds good.
And then you can activate it. So finishing the movement right here with my Hammer Fist in his arc unobstructed. So on that Elohi, he's got 2 heavies and a light gun.
Yeah.
So he's got 2 blue dice, 2 blue dice and a red dice. He's going to start at 6. However, I'm over 10 inches, so it goes to 7. I am moving at full speed, so it goes to 8. And that's it. So we're looking for 8 or better on all those shots.
Sounds good.
Yep, sure, right here.
Crit and a hit.
Crit and a hit. So the 10 is a crit. So D6 for the crit is a 6 and a 3.
9. We
consult the chart. For a 9 is major structural damage, is an additional D6 plus 2 damage. 6 more damage. 9 damage on him. Next will be my Hammer Fist, looks like. So I'm going to go that way. I'm outside of 2 inches of the island. Closest ship in my arc is this ship, which is great because that's the one I ship at. This ship is just outside of my arc of fire. So on this ship, because I'm shooting, like his full back is presented to me, I'm crossing the T. So I'll get raking fire, so I'll get bonus damage. If this is just straight 6s, I really want these to hit. That is 1 hit, which will be 1 damage, and then raking fire. This is a stern rake, is greater than 3 inches, so it's ×2, so it'd be 2 damage. Next up will be Rob's other Elohe that just recently avoided being hit. Right here, definitely going to take some shots at his hammer fist at point blank, and
let's see, that was 2 movements, or was that 1?
That was 1.
That's 1 movement.
That was 1 movement. So you got to move. Now you can fire as she bears right here.
Yeah.
Like shoot. Oh no! Wait. This wouldn't even be fire as she bears because you can fire your weapons.
Oh, that's right.
In any of your movement steps. You just can't shoot that weapon arc again.
Okay. But you should be in the weapon arc of my front gun here, correct?
I don't think enough of me is.
Does it have to be like more than half or something?
It's got to be at least half of me within the arc.
Okay, then never mind.
And I think I'm out of that anyways. But you can move, pivot, and put me in your front on all these guns.
1 will miss.
1 will miss. Okay, so that's
combat's a crit.
3, 5, 6 damage plus a roll on the crit. Roll on the crit chart. 6 is gonna be minor structural damage. D3 plus 1 damage. 2 plus 1, so 3. He's at combat speed, so he has 1 more move step to complete. You're looking for 7s here. It's just -1 because I'm at full speed. That is. I'll take it. That's 2 damage. I'm okay with that. That could have been a lot of combat speed on my Blood Runner. And I'm going to fire as she bears. So with fire as she bears, you can shoot at any point through your movement, but you suffer a penalty for shooting while you're moving. So you're supposed to mark where the ship's going to end up and then take your shot and then finish. 2 heavy guns, I'm looking for 8s because 6, then -2 for fire as she bears, leaves me with 8s. 1 for 2 damage. Right here I have 1 close gun, on the close range gun on the front of the Blood Runner, so I'll be shooting that at this fella. Rob was kind enough to let me make a little adjustment. I wanted to put a pivot on the end of that movement to put myself a little bit more into the wind than his boat, and he's still in the arc. For a 6. That is a hit, so 3 damage from the close range gun. Last activation of this turn will be me with my hammer fist, who I hope doesn't hit me. That we're not exactly clear on at the moment. With islands, I'm not quite sure if you end your movement within 2 inches of the island by accident, or if you just happen to move within 2 inches of it. If you know better, help us out, because I'm reading through the section and it's just kind of like, this one paragraph, and I'm just not certain. I think that it's if you move within it. Rob thinks the other. So we're gonna go with Rob's way because it's a little bit kinder as we learn through the game.
It's more flexible.
It's a little bit more flexible, but I'm not certain about how it's supposed to be. So if you know for certain, help me out. Let me know in the comments, and please and thank you. Runner or hammer fist has it has a heavy weapon on the front.
Ooh.
Hitting on a 6 misses. New turn. So my turn to roll for wind. We get an 8, so the wind stays where it is. Panther will activate for 6s.
1 crit.
1 crit on the regular gun.
Heavy,
so
right?
That's the light gun.
Lights are red.
Lights are red. And then so that'll be 1 damage. It's a bow rake, so that's ×3, so that'll be 3 damage. And then he gets to roll 2d6. Minor structural damage, D3 plus 1, 2 damage. Ending right here at the edge of the table. Definitely need to make a pivot here so he does not sail off the board. This will be the Basilean gun brig. Yeah, definitely try. He's got to have a 9 or a 10. That is a 7. Now, on that roll, even with the modifiers on a 9 or a 10, both of those are critical damage for an indirect weapon. So now he can finish that movement, and we'll see where he has 2 light guns on the sides of it. So he's looking for 8s because I'm partially obscured. No hits. Going to activate the bomb boat, and I'm going to fire as she bears. I'm going to fire the indirect weapon at that thing right there, looking for a 9 or a 10. Wait, no, I'm not. Let me double check. Scatter that indirect. We're going to remember and do better. So I'm going to move up.
No, I won't.
Well, I'm going to try to do better. So I'm going to move up my 3, or part of my, actually, yeah, part of my 3 to right there, just so that he's in my arc and can't go under the island. In my arc, but within 3 inches. Here, the indirect is -2, but I'm point blank, which is +2. So looking for it. Oh, no.
You're firing as she bears, too.
I'm firing as she bears. That's the other one. So -2, so looking for an 8.
Sounds good.
That is a miss, which will scatter this way, and that movement right here, where I will now shoot my side guns into this gun brig.
Size, so there shouldn't be modifiers, is there?
You're small, so it's a modifier.
Got you.
So we forgot the modifier for small last time I shot, but I missed, so it doesn't matter. This is +2 for point blank, -1 for him being a small ship, so looking for 5s. 2 hits, so that's 6 damage. With this indirect weapon, he's like halfway out of my arc, so it's -2 for indirect,
So 8.
+2 for point blank,
So 6.
-2
For -1 for small.
Yep,
Right,
and then
so an 8.
and then -1 for partial visibility, -1 for small, and looking for an 8. That is a 9.
Ooh,
That is a 9. Not only a hit, but a crit. And if it had scattered, it would have scattered into his other boat. For the indirect weapon is 4, and then 2d6 for the crit chart is a 7, which is going to be my d3 +1 on that. So that's 4 more damage. Yeah, I almost crippled him. You cripple at your nerve.
Oh, okay.
When you're at or above your nerve ranking, you cripple. So I almost crippled that boat. That would have been awesome. Be my hammer fist, who is going to move up and fire as she bears on this boat. Stop right here so that I can get this bow rake on him, so that if I do manage to hit, I can potentially do a fire as she bears. So looking for an 8. Nothing. Ending right there. That will be the LOE for 8s.
1 8.
1, so 2 damage. Runner will activate next because of where I poked out the corner.
I think this one will actually activate.
Oh, is it? Oh, I think it is. Across the T, fire as she bears right here. Just line that up beautifully. So, it's going to be across the T.
Nothing.
Okay, so ending up right there. Going to be sailing 2 ships for me. This one, I'm just going to start moving around this way. That one, however, is going to give chase over here. One more movement step, but at the end of this one, I'm going to shoot the front gun at full speed. Goes to -1 to 7. I'm not more than 10. I'm within 8, so looking for a 7. Wait, you're full speed too, right?
I am, yeah.
Doesn't matter because I rolled a crit. So 2 damage, and then crit chart. 5d6 +2 extra damage, so that'll be 6 more damage on top. I'm gonna shoot the side guns at him. 4 8s. So that'll be 5 damage total. It's ending up like this as we go to turn 4, and we check the wind. A Panther will activate first. Panther ending right there. Next will be gun brig. He's barely going to hear, so he's got to take a skill test.
Yep. What do I need?
They're regular, so 5-0.
3.
Okay. Land. It deals a d10 of damage for every size of the ship. So tiny, small, medium, large. There may be something bigger than large. Damage kills him?
Yeah. He has 14 out of 20.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so he will sink on the spot. So and just he's still removed, but yeah, he hits a reef and sinks. Both of my ships, which aren't going to be able to get shots on anything, so I'm just going to move them around and show you where they full speed with both ships cruising around. I actually think that ship is before this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll activate that ship next. Move him up to full speed. Not able to get up to him, so we're going to make a shot with the front gun. For an 8. That is the opposite of an 8. Ends up sailing off the board. He'll come back during the end. Same for the Alohi at combat speed. I was at full speed when I came off. So we'll go to the end phase and we'll roll off to see which one comes back first. I got a 4.
Higher number or lower number?
Higher number.
1.
You got a 1, so I will come back. Yours would, both of our ships come back on kind of the spot they sailed off at, and then we roll for the wind. It will actually do something. Okay, it's coming from this corner now. It's because it moves one step counterclockwise. Sorry, Brits. So he's going to continue full speed this way. Right there. Next will be my Hammer Fist, who's going to just kind of give pursuit. Right here where I've got this boat in my front full speed, and it's long range, so looking for a 9. That is a miss. Shooting a heavy gun off the front of the boat. Oh, it's an L? It's a light gun, not a long gun. Sorry, that's 14 my inches. Gunboat, which is just going to move, followed by my Blood Runner. Yep. Orcs are the only faction that can choose to ram somebody. So I'm going to ram him. So I automatically fail the skill test. So he's got to roll his skill test. You need a 5 up because you're a regular. No. 2. So you fail, so we do some collision. I got a 5. 4. So we both add 5 to that because I am the attacker ship, the ramming ship. So, and I'm at full speed. So he'll take 9. He'll take 10. I will take a 6 to try to grapple. I do get a reroll there because I'm an orc, which is still a fail. Next up would be the Hammer Fist, who's going to immediately fire as she bears. Oh no, yeah, because they're not grappled. They're not grappled, so it doesn't matter. So fire as she bears, and we'll go for it. Is +1 or +2. However, fire as she bears is -2. And so full speed, right? And I come back on at full speed, so 7. So 1 with the close combat for 3 damage.
Sounds good.
Ending right here, and I'm going to shoot down his range. Goes to 7, and full speed for me goes to 8. Full speed for him goes to 9. So looking for 9s or 10s. Nothing. So he activates the Basilean, who is crippled currently. So he has to take a nerve test, which is a skill test, which he's regular. So he needs a 5 up. Fails, so that ship will pretty much out of the game for Rob. So we'll go for wind direction. Is a 7, it stays the same. Yep. So that'll be me activating here first, where I will go full speed and try to ram into the back of that. Make this collision, but at this point, Rob is down 2 ships already. So we're gonna go ahead and call this. That's gonna be a victory for the Orcs. Good game, my friend. Really, really, really like this boat game. I like all the boat games, but I really, really, really like this boat game. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of intro game to Armada. I promise future ones will go quicker. We just tried to go slowly, illustrate as many rules as possible, while still keeping a hopefully somewhat decent pace. We'll see what it comes out to in editing. But either way, thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out while we rolled some dice today. I hope y'all have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, may the dice be ever in your favor. And as always, I'd like to say a big, huge, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to our patrons who support us and pledge to us over on Patreon. You guys are the absolute best. If you enjoyed the content you saw here today and that's something that you would like to consider doing to help out the channel, go over there, check out the link in the description, check out the Patreon. There's a lot of cool stuff over there, including access to our Discord server. Talk to me, hang out with me, talk about our work, what we got going on in the hobby, some shout outs, all kinds of cool stuff. Check it out if that's something that you think you would be into. And regardless of whether or not you do that, I want you to know that I am incredibly grateful that you decided to stop by and spend part of your day with me today, rolling dice and pushing toy soldiers around. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, may the dice be ever in your favor.